I'm going to tell you how to get your viewers to watch more than one video so that you can get more views, more watch time, more revenue, more engagement, all the stuff that comes with being a YouTuber. And we're starting right now. Our question today comes from DJ Cook. DJ Cook says, how do I keep people watching after they watch one video? I want people to go from video to video and sort of create a funnel. DJ Cook, this is a fantastic question because it's a goal of YouTubers. Ultimately, what it is that we want is we want people to watch video after video after video after video. And I also want to take a moment to highlight for just 1 second, if you're a new content creator and you have all these questions about YouTube, I just want to bring to your attention that DJ Cook, the person that asked this question, has almost 1 million subscribers on their YouTube channel, and they're still trying to learn. They're still trying to get better, just like everybody else on the platform. And the reason that it's important for you to know that is because it's important for you to know that it never stops. Like it's always, you're just always trying to just do more, get better, get better, get better, get better. But anyway, back to the question at hand. Getting people to watch more of your videos in one session. That's what we're after. Here's how you do it. The very first thing, of course, is making content that's good enough to get people to watch for as long as humanly possible, because if the content's good, then they're automatically going to get to the end of the video where then you can present them with an in-screen element, which is basically the image that pops up on your screen. It's a clickable link to where people can click on that, and then they can go and they can watch another video that you recommend or that YouTube recommends for them instead. In the case of DJ Cook, he's doing that already, or he wouldn't be getting the views that he's getting in the first place. So because of that, he's already making high response content. People dig what he's doing. Therefore, I'm assuming that people are watching his videos for a longer period of time, and then they're clicking on videos and his end screen's going to more content. Now, if you're not making content that gets people watching to the very end, then the very first thing that you need to do is you need to go into your audience retention reports and you need to start paying really close attention to how people are reacting to every single part of your video, because your audience retention reports are the roadmap to making good content. Because if you are putting out content and you notice in your audience retention reports that you can't keep people watching, then that tells you, hey, I've got some changes I need to make in order to make better content. But if you can keep people watching, then in that situation, it's like, hey, I'm doing okay. I'm doing the right things. I'm getting, a decent complete rate on my videos. Therefore, my content is of an acceptable or competitive quality. So what you want to look out for, knowing that information, what you want to look out for is people leaving at certain parts of your videos. So this is where, you might see people leaving during an intro, or you might see when your video first starts, it starts and then it's just like a ski slope to where everybody's just heading out of there and they're going to watch something else instead of your video, or they're hitting that back button, or they're just getting out of there because they were not impressed or whatever it was. You were not able to grab their attention when your video first opened up. If that's what your videos look like, then in that case, you got to get to work on that just very first part of your video. Like all the stuff that happens after it isn't really that important if you can't keep people watching for at least a little bit of your video. So the idea with the audience retention reports is that you can identify these sorts of things. Another thing you want to look out for is just stagnant pieces in your content. Let's say that you notice that, hey, for a period of time, I'm just getting this gradual decline, and it's kind of a steep decline. Look to see if there's just stagnation going on, to where maybe there's no cutting, maybe there's no B-roll, maybe there's nothing happening, maybe you're not saying anything at all, you're just kind of hanging out there and people are leaving during that particular part. Well, when you notice that in your audience retention reports, that is part of the roadmap to where you can say, hey, I need to start doing some stuff here during these particular parts of the video in order to keep people watching longer. And of course, avoid stopping people from watching your content in the first place. So what I mean by that is a lot of times content creators will be doing the video and then they'll finish the video verbally or visually or whatever it happens to be before the video is actually complete. So what they'll do is they'll say things like, oh, and that's how you XYZ, or, and that's why I think this particular thing, or that's how I discovered this. And then as soon as people identify that what they came into the video for, as soon as they identify that that's over, guess what? You'll see in your own audience retention reports, you'll see people starting to head out during those particular parts. So this also happens a lot if people have a lot of fluff or a lot of additional stuff they do at the end of their videos. So if you notice that in your audience retention reports, just start cutting some of that stuff down and focus people on getting to that next video. Now, when you get people to the end of your video, right? Let's say that you have, 50% of the people watching to the end of the video, 20%, 25%, even 10% of the people getting to the end of your video, then what you want to do in that situation is you want to recommend a piece of content to them. It can be one video, it can be a playlist of videos, it can be a playlist plus your recommended playlist plus best for viewer for YouTube. So then therefore you're taking a stab at suggesting something that you think they'd be interested in based on how relevant it is to the video that they're currently watching, or how it makes sense for them to watch that next. And then YouTube, with the best for viewer slot there in your end screen, YouTube in that situation is then picking what their system thinks that your viewer viewer is likely to watch from your channel next. So because of that, I recommend that you use a best reviewer, and you recommend verbally, you know, watch this video on the screen next type of thing, that you just verbally recommend it so that you're telling people like, this is the next step that I want you to take. This is the next step that you should take, so that you can get more people clicking on that particular video in your end screen or playlist, whichever one it is that you decide. Now, before I tell you the next one here on the list, another thing that I want you to consider, like all the things that I'm talking about right now, these are kind of the surface level so that a deeper thing can happen later. So one of the things that YouTube tells us is that they suggest videos next to other videos that are topically related, and they also suggest videos next to other videos that people typically watch together. So what you're doing in this situation, going through the process that I'm explaining to you here in this video, what you're ultimately trying to do is you're trying to have enough people from one video go to a specific video next, so that YouTube systems can identify that people are watching the videos together en masse, so that YouTube will ultimately end up suggesting the videos next to each other. Hopefully, if things work out perfectly and all the stars are aligned, you'll end up in the next up spot on your own content, which means that even if somebody doesn't click on another one of your videos, if they just happen to be, you know, sitting back watching, then your video would automatically play next, or it's taking up the most screen real estate right up there next to your particular video that they're watching at that point in time. Now, the idea of getting YouTube to detect that you're having people watch more than one video, one of the things required for that is a lot of views, right? You're gonna need to get a lot of views on one video and a lot of those people converting over into the next video in order for their system to really identify that that's happening at scale, right? Now, when this does happen, another thing, or as part of making this happen, another thing that you can do as well is pinning a comment. So what I mean by that is that on every single video that you publish on YouTube, as long as your comments aren't turned off, you have a comment section. And since you have this comment section, what YouTube allows us to do is, of course, we can pin a comment of somebody that actually leaves a comment, or some of the time, or all of the time, depending on whatever it is that you happen to be doing with your individual YouTube channel. But basically the idea is that you write out your own comment, and that comment that you just wrote lets people know that this is why you should go and watch that video. This is why it's relevant to you. Or you can simply just recommend that they watch that one next, but you want to give a little bit of context so they know why. But basically what you do is you write the comment and then you paste a link to whatever video or playlist it is that you would like them to watch next. This is super easy to do, takes almost no time at all. And what we've just done is we have now taken your YouTube video right on that YouTube watch page, and we've added one link to that particular video or playlist from your end screen. We just added another link in your pinned comment section. So now there's a link going to that next video in your end screen, another link going to that video in your comment section as well. So you have two chances to send somebody to that next video. If they make it to the end, sweet. If they don't, but they happen to go down to leave a comment, then you might be able to catch them there, as long as your call to action or what it is that you're actually teasing them with to get them over there is solid. So let's do it again. The next thing that you would want to do, of course, is make sure that you also have links to relevant content in your video descriptions. And the reason that this is important is the same exact thing that I was telling you before, in terms of you're just making it easy for people to find more of your content. Now, with your description, you can take a little bit of a different approach to where you focus on that video that you want them to watch next, maybe up somewhere towards the top of the description. But then in your video descriptions, you can also add additional playlist links down there as well to just other versions of your content or other, pillars of your content that you're putting out, so that if somebody goes into your description, that they can easily find more of what it is that they care about based on the listed playlist that you have down in your video description. Now, if it's super important that you get people over to that next video, another thing that you can also do with your video description, now this is only really effective on desktop users or people, that are on computers when they're doing this, but another thing that you can do also is that you put your link above the fold. So you put the first lines of your description there, but then you put your link to that next video or playlist above the fold, which is basically above that see more, so that as somebody's scrolling down the page on a computer, they would see your description link there at the top going to another video, and then they would see it again in your pinned comments as well. So then what you do in that situation with the description, open or not, either approach that you take. But what we've just done is we've taken that one video on the video watch page, and we've given ourselves 3 chances so far to get people to another video or playlist that we think would be relevant to them based on the video that they're watching right now. Okay, let's do it again. So the next thing that you can do in this situation, of course, is YouTube gives us the card option. So cards, if you're not familiar with those, it's the thing that's popping up on the screen right now to where you can go and watch another video so, or if you're monetized, then you can also set this up to go to websites, things like that. But the idea is that you can use that option to send people to additional content of yours that, again, that they care about, or that you want them to watch, or the content that you just think would make a logical next step based on the video that they happen to be watching at this point in time. But here's the thing, when you do use YouTube cards, you want to make sure, and this is per YouTube's recommendation, that you're putting them in the last 20% of your video. That's what YouTube recommends, because the whole thing is about getting people to watch more content, right? So when we were talking before about getting people to the end screens, like getting people to watch more video, more of your video for a longer period of time, then in that situation, if you have a card at the very front of your video, well, guess what? There's going to be some bleed over there to where people are going to click on that, and then they're going to go over and they're going to watch that video, but they're going to leave the current video. And if that happens in mass, then it can impact the performance of your current video. So because of that, you want to make sure that you are using the last, or that you're using your cards in the last 20% of your video. And of course, another thing that you can do currently at this point in time, and I know there was one thing saying they were going to take them away, but now that information is gone and I can't find it anymore. If they are not, one of the other things that you can also do is when you're putting your playlist together, that you put together playlists of relevant content that is actually made to be watched together, and then you mark that as a series playlist in your series playlist or in your advanced playlist settings. And then when you do that, then what's going to happen is you're telling YouTube that those videos are made to be watched together. And YouTube tells us that when you mark a video as a series playlist, the idea there is that you're also leveraging YouTube systems in order to work on your behalf to help people be able to find your content easier next to being recommended next to your own videos, or being suggested next to your own videos. And to learn even more about growing your YouTube channel, make sure you click into this playlist right here. You see what I did there? Trying to get you to go into that one, because you should, because lots of really good information in there. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.